Good morning. It is Wednesday, January 18th, and I'm back with another session of the Thoughts Out Loud experiment. Um, Today is session 22. I promised myself I'd write them on the board, and I got like a whiteboard right here now. Thoughts Out Loud has turned into something different, which is awesome because it creates a setting for me to do some more. Like I slowly, like over time, I'm slowly creating a little setting where I can do a little more for my Soul Weaver videos, which will be coming soon. They're going to take a lot more planning. They're going to be a lot more thought out than thoughts out loud. Um, but yeah, even yesterday, I even got the date wrong. That was weird. I got to work and realized it wasn't the 15th. I was like, oh, goodness gracious. Uh, Today, I want to answer a question asked by a friend of mine. But oh, that's my alarm to do thoughts out loud. I'm early. Um, Today, I want to answer a question asked by a friend of mine. That's why I've got my phone right there. But before I do that, let me go ahead and do the quick midweek evaluation because it's Wednesday and that's supposed to be me kind of doing a quick checkup where I am for the week. I'm a little behind in that I uh, I record a couple of days ago on Monday. I got up, recorded my podcast. I wanted to have it complete by today. Podcast doesn't post until 10 o'clock tomorrow, 10 a.m. tomorrow on Thursday. And that's not a biggie. It's already recorded. I did a lot of editing last night. I just need to do a quick, do the show notes really quick and get that posted and get that knocked out before I leave for work this morning. Cause sleep. Thoughts Out Loud doesn't edit it, guys. I'm sorry. That's gonna be in there. So blog post done yesterday. Yesterday, I also was able to complete, for the most part, a blog post. Did I say blog post the first time? Podcast episode. Just need to get the show notes done. Podcasts are blog. The blog is done. I got a blog post done. It's a market post about 10 markets here in Korea. A lot of help from the wife on it. She's finishing up the pictures. I think she finished up the pictures last night around 11 o'clock, which was later than I wanted to go to sleep. But that's two pieces of content that are complete and will post tomorrow and Friday morning. So pretty decent for the week as far as I'm concerned, as far as that midweek evaluation goes. Is there anything else supposed to happen this week? We have to get ready for a next week, or next Monday is the next scheduled blog posting, and we have to get ready for a Lunar New Year blog post, and that's going to take a lot of time. I'll go ahead and use this Friday to kind of write up for it, and I don't know. I'm fine as far as the midweek evaluation goes. Like, I am on schedule. The podcast is behind because I like to have that done and scheduled and not be worried about it on Wednesday. Just be worried about brainstorming and recording for future podcasts. Is what my preference is what my goal is. So with that said, midweek evaluation done. That kind of trumps into, it also included what I did yesterday. Let's go ahead and get to the question asked by a friend of mine. It's a close friend of mine. Me and this is my friend X. We've known each other for years now. I can't even tell you how many. It's got to be more than 10, 11, 12. We met in around 2001, maybe 2002, right around that time frame. And he happened to check out, and he happened to watch a session of the Thoughts Out Loud where I mentioned legacy and things along those lines, and he had a question. So he said, he sent me a message like, Kyle X, next time just ask in the comments so even the people who are watching this in the future can see that. I appreciate that, bro. But I greatly appreciate the question because it sponsored, or it spawned inspired a lot of thought. I don't know, it was thought invoking. My question is, did you always? Oh, I'm sorry. I saw your video on you wanting to leave a legacy behind, and how that was one of the things that started you down your path to finding and running after your goal. My question is, did you always have this goal in mind, even when it was small, or even if it was small? And if not, what do you do to start looking for a goal you knew you wanted? Um, this actually like again, it's thought invoking, right? Like it spawned a lot of thoughts in my head. I actually had to consciously restrict myself from thinking about it so I can talk about it here freely, or just like kind of brainstorm about it freely because I didn't want to like over prepare or anything for thoughts out loud. But yeah, I don't think legacy as a whole. I didn't think about it until the story that I told in the previous thoughts out loud session. Until I actually went and wiped out somebody's work and started really thinking about like, man, like when like how much of that there was no remnants of that person. I don't even know whose work it was I wiped out, right? Like there's no documentation, there's nothing that tells me who that person even was. Like they don't exist in my reality. They're there, but they're nobody in my reality. Which which isn't a bad thing. I guess it doesn't really. You don't have to be somebody in everyone else's reality. But I to be honest, even though I had my child, then I didn't think about creating something more than just monetary to pass on to my kids. Like to me, legacy is more than just it's more than just passing on your business, or it's more than just passing on actual money funding to your kids and through inheritance or anything like that. Excuse me. It's like it's bigger than that. Like it is the what do I want to say? Like the impact you had on the world. To me, legacy is the impact, passing the impact you had on the world onto your child, to or onto your offspring, or onto even your community, who continues to foster that impact and increase it or build upon it. Um, for the most part, that's what legacy is to me. I didn't think that deep until recently, honestly. I think when I thought about legacy, when I thought about passing things on or business on to my child, I thought like I was used to think about old stores or stores that had been in the family for years. Or there was a reason, I don't know if you watched Louis' recent show. I forgot the name of it. He has a TV show where these guys kind of inherit. Is it Pete? Bill and Pete? Not something in Pete, where they inherit a bar from like hundreds of years of owners of the bars. It's always owned by the same people. It's Pete and something, and like those guys are kind of locked in to what they're going to do with their life. That is almost the same as the old days where, if your father was a blacksmith and you were a blacksmith and you have no choice in what to do with your life. So I didn't want to lock my son into that. But I do want to build something again, build that legacy, have that impact on the world, and have him go and build upon it in his own way. And yeah, that's really when it really didn't start happening until about 2 years ago. I really didn't start thinking about it until about 2 years ago, because my son didn't have his own personality really until about 2 years ago. Um, as far as once I realized that, what started me running toward my goal, or how did I even look for it? How did I choose it? I haven't, as a matter of fact, yet. Like I'm still looking for it. I'm still actively searching for it. I'm still trying to figure out what my passion is, what I want to do, and how I want to have an impact on the world. Now, I started Soul Weaver in the room. Like it's not really like my thing. I'm not. That's why I try not to refer to myself as an entrepreneur, because I didn't start. Soul Weaver isn't a business. It's a mechanism. I found a passion, not my passion that I want to do with the rest of my life, but I found a passion that I can talk about at length for a long time and continuously, and I won't get tired of the topic of foreigners living in Korea, and then made Soul Weaver as a mechanism to kind of figure out how to get my word out there, how to get my voice out there in a loud and noisy community, or loud and noisy environment, because it's online, so it's very hard. It's a lot of static going on, a lot of other things out there. I mean, there's just a lot of I realize now there's a lot of other podcasts and blogs out there. I knew there were a lot of blogs, but I didn't know there were so many podcasts. Pretty cool actually. But I need to know how to differentiate myself, find out how to kind of separate myself from the chaff, so to speak. Not the chaff, because I'm going to talk to those guys and try to get on with them. So you guys aren't chaff. if you happen to catch this later. But try to carve my own little space out there, in my own little online space out there, and get people to recognize my products or my content for what it is. But that's just kind of that's a means to an end. Like that's the point of Soul Weaver, really. In the process, I get to talk about something I love, and I get to share information about something I love, and hopefully help people out in the process. But it's been worth its weight in gold. It's like a real life. It's like an internship, so to speak, right? Like it's like an environment, or it's a crash course in what I'm going to do whenever I get back to the States, and find something to put 100% of my energy or my efforts on. It's taught me how to use Libsyn. It's taught me how to do. It's taught me how to use WordPress. I've just learned this so much. It's been like a real life university, like beyond college course, right? Just experience is the best teacher. It even spawned this. Like this came out of me. If I hadn't done anything, if I hadn't done Soul Weaver, like I know Soul Weaver isn't the be all end all for Will Brooks, but if I hadn't done anything, I would, everything I've done from now, everything I've set up, all this stuff that I'm learning or that I'm picking up on, even the way I communicate. I can't stand the way I communicate sometimes because I reiterate over and over and over again, doing it now. But I wouldn't have known any of this. All this that I've learned over the past 18 months would have been time wasted. Maybe even searching, or maybe even, I don't know, not building any kind of experience. So I'm very, very happy that I've gone this route, and that it helps me work on uni. It's just does so many great things. To be honest, I don't know what I will use, what mechanism I will use, or how I will go about finding what I want to do. I think what I'll do one day is just sit down and brainstorm and think about what I really like to do. Up until now, I've wanted to create mobile apps to kind of assist people. And people always ask, I'll go into that later. People ask, isn't that saturated? Isn't that, there's millions of mobile apps out there. I don't think it's saturated. But yeah, that's kind of my answer to that question. X, I hope that kind of brings you around to what I was saying. If that spawns any follow-up questions, go ahead and ask them in the comments, and I'll jump on and I'll ask them, because I really do think more people have questions similar to that. Like when does it start? Like if any of you out there are watching, go ahead and leave any questions you have in the comments, because I will come back and answer them. Like even in the future, like even 6 months down the line, because right now it's just it's me and my boys watching. But yeah, that's all I got for Thoughts Out Loud today. That's probably actually a pretty long episode. I think the idea of legacy, you can go for hours and hours and hours, and maybe I'll link up. Maybe we'll do something on Bursting Through 9 to 5 with Ant to kind of go through and talk a little bit more about legacy and what we want to leave behind. Speaking of Ant, he started his own version of Thoughts Out Loud. It's called Third Thing in the Morning. I like that name. And you can catch that on the TYO Pod YouTube channel. I linked to it yesterday. I'll go ahead and link again to it in the description. But he's going to start doing his own thing where, he starts sitting down and kind of, going over what he's got planned and what he's holding himself accountable for. And I think all this is really journaling online. So if you guys journal and you want to do your own version of Thoughts Out Loud, don't feel that, don't feel the need to give me any credit. I'm not the first one who came up with it. Like, go ahead and do your thing, because I'd love to see, what other people think. I'd love to go in, comment on you guys' videos, and jump in and give my own 2 cents and kind of get our own little virtual mastermind going, like a community where we do, Thoughts Out Loud, our own versions of Thoughts Out Loud, and kind of talk to each other through there. And, I don't know, it'd be pretty cool. Today's focus, getting the podcast up and scheduled. That's the number one focus as soon as I get done with this. And doing what's today? Wednesday. Record day. Oh my God. So this is record day for the podcast. So I'm gonna come home tonight and try to record 3 episodes. Let's shoot. let's do 2 episodes because 3 is pushing it because I always end up going a lot longer than planned. So 2 episodes. We're into February now. Like we're done with the January episodes. That's awesome. I love that. And then and that's it. I think that those 2 main points today. If I get all that done, I'm golden and I feel great. So there, that's all we got. I'll let you know how that goes tomorrow in the next Thoughts Out Loud session 23. Get your memory going. You guys have a great day. I'll see you later. Oh, I'm supposed to leave this on the stop sign.